In my book, there's a lot of genealogical research, you know, going back, Dick's family, my family, these heroic and amazing tales of people who went west. But one of the things I discovered is that Dick and Barack Obama are 8th cousins. What? Is that an amazing thing? Yes, if you go back 8 generations, really? They have a common ancestor.
These spiritual beings have been ruling this planet through very specific bloodlines, who long ago swore allegiance to these beings in exchange for wealth and power over the human race. In preparing the whole world for the ultimate spiritual deception, these evil entities have planned. These bloodlines are literally able to be traced by genealogists all the way back to ancient Sumer and Babylonia, and these human familiars or pets of the demonic angels have worshipped Satan and his minions under many forms from the time of Sumer right up to our present day.
So there were new beings planted in the garden. Primarily, they had been created to function as sources of food for the collection of gods that had been possessed by evil. Secondarily, they were to be used as physical vessels to be possessed by the gods. Once possessed, they will be used to carry out evil's plan to spread death and destruction on earth.
Is of an interbreeding between a non-human race, force, whatever, and humans, creating a hybrid bloodline, a fusion of the two DNA. Even in Genesis, we have one version of this, but you find this all over the world, in every culture. As the Bible says in Genesis, there were giants on the earth in those days, or in the earth as it puts it, and also after that, where the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them. And the same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. These hybrid bloodlines, this interbreeding, produced the kings and queens and the elite royal families of the ancient world, where they claim their right, their genetic right to be the king or the queen or the leader because of their connection to the gods. And all over the world you find this. And what do we have today? We have the Queen as head of state of this country purely because of her DNA. In Sumer you find the same. Sumer, which became Babylon, which became Iraq, has ancient texts and tablets which describe the same recurring global story of this interbreeding to create this hybrid race. The hybrid race became known as the demigods, part human, part God, because of this interbreeding connection. This hybrid bloodline went off across the world, up into Northern Europe. It became the power behind the Roman Empire and the creation of the Roman Church, which became, of course, global Christianity. Much more about that as we go along. And everywhere it went, it became the royal bloodline, the elite bloodline, the one that became the leaders and the kings and the queens, and also the people in charge behind the scenes. And it interbred with other such bloodlines in Northern Europe to become the royal families and aristocratic families of Europe. And so today, these hybrid bloodlines are known as the Illuminati, the illuminated ones, and they're the ones that control the transnational corporations, governments, the banking system, the whole shebang that dictates and controls the direction of society.
Many of the United States presidents have blood relations with each other. The Bush lineage has blood ties to a great number of former presidents. George Washington, Millard Fillmore, Franklin Pierce, Abraham Lincoln, Ulysses Grant, Rutherford Hayes, James Garfield, Grover Cleveland, Teddy Roosevelt, William Taft, Calvin Coolidge, Herbert Hoover, Franklin Roosevelt, Richard Nixon, and Gerald Ford. Michael Tessarion points out in his work that Bush is closely related to every European monarch on and off the throne, and has kinship with every member of Britain's royal family. Bush's family tree can be documented as far back as the early 15th century. He has a direct descent from Henry III and from Henry VIII's sister Mary Tudor. He is also descended from Charles II of England. And we also find that George W. Bush is a direct descendant of Godfrey the Bullion. Godfrey was the first king of Jerusalem after he recaptured it from the Saracens, which was the name for the Islamic faith during the Middle Ages. It is interesting to note that the current occupation of the United States in the Middle East was re-established by the same family, George Bush Sr. in 1991, and again by George Bush Jr. in 2003. George Bush Jr. is then found to be a cousin to both opposing candidates of his 2 terms in office, Al Gore and John Kerry. Democratic President Barack Obama also has blood ties with George W. Bush, as well as Gerald Ford, Lyndon Johnson, Harry Truman, James Madison, and the British Prime Minister Sir Winston Churchill. On the opposing side of the 2008 presidential ballot, John McCain is descended from Robert the Bruce, King William I of Scotland, and also Godfrey the Bullion.
Time for some news you cannot use. Thank you. Given that Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie now have 38 children, the last thing they need are 2 more family members, but they're getting them anyway.
What?
A new study conducted by the New England Historical Genealogical Society, one of Joe's favorite groups, has found that Hillary Clinton is a distant cousin to Angelina Jolie.
Does that really have to like her?
See the resemblance? Clinton and Jolie are ninth. I think she's a handsome woman. Are ninth cousins twice removed. Their link goes back to early 18th century Quebec.
Oh my God.
They're also apparently related to Madonna. Meanwhile, the same study finds that Brad Pitt is related to Barack Obama.
Okay, this is getting weird.
It is weird.
I saw that one coming.
Pitt and Obama are also ninth cousins thanks to a common relative who lived in Virginia in the 1760s.
Okay.
Now, neither half of Brangelina, that's Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, has publicly endorsed a presidential candidate, mainly because no one has asked them.
Well, do we care?
No.
Ah, good.
At least there's Angelina. Why did we wait so long to see her?
All right, good.
Let's cut to the
Okay, that
chase.
was useless and sort of weird.
Did you think so?
I thought that was useless. I don't know what I would do with that. That's why you bring.
We know that Barack Obama loves to joke about his cousin, Dick Cheney. Today's New York Times has some more family tree news. Senator McCain is a 6th cousin of First Lady Laura Bush. Senator Clinton's notable relatives are Jack Kerouac, Madonna, Celine Dion, Alanis Morissette, and Camilla Parker Bowles, the wife of Prince Charles. And here's her Hollywood branch. Senator Clinton is a 9th cousin, twice removed, somebody tell me what that means, of actress Angelina Jolie. Not to be outdone, Senator Obama has a common ancestor, 11 generations removed, with actor Brad Pitt. But the big news for Obama brings us to tonight's hardball big number. All Dick Cheney jokes aside, Obama may just have something presidential in him. It's not just his fire in the belly. According to the New England Historic Genealogical Society, Obama is related to not 1, not 2, but at least 6 U.S. presidents. Both Presidents Bush, Gerald Ford, LBJ, Harry Truman, and James Madison, who wrote the Constitution. 6 U.S. presidents in Obama's extended family. Tonight's hardball big number. Up next, 8 years ago.